Hi everyone, this is William from the Headphone Experience, and I'm here tonight with my first impressions of the Venture Electronics Zen 2.0 Earbuds. I've had these for a couple days now, and actually I've had them longer than that. They showed up about 12 days ago, but coming out of China I was a little concerned about the Wuhan coronavirus, and even though I've been told it can only survive a couple days max on a package, I didn't want to take any chances, so I quarantined the package in my truck for about 10 days. So anyway, just opened these up a couple days ago and got a couple hours of listening time in on them. These are made by Venture Electronics, and they come from China, and they have a base price of $148 US. And this model here, actually, as far as I can tell, looks like this sells for $166, and the reason why is it has a balanced 4.4 millimeter TRRS plug on it. And these are wired earbuds. The cable is not detachable. They use dynamic drivers, and they have an impedance of 320 ohms. And I wanted to talk about that a little bit in a minute. Venture claims a sensitivity of 108 decibels at 1 milliwatt. And like I said, the cable is non-detachable. It's 1.2 meters long. It's actually a pretty nice quality cable. It doesn't seem to tangle at all. The problem with the Monk Plus, which is their $5 earbud, is the cable just constantly gets tangled, but that doesn't seem to be a problem here. As far as fit and comfort, first of all, I mean, they're real easy to put in your ears, and let me get these right here. Anyway, they go in pretty easy, and well, now that I'm trying to do it on camera, I guess they're a little harder, but they're really comfortable. I don't feel, hardly feel them at all in my ears. And but I've had to mess around with the fit a little bit, and they do come with a bag of different attachments. There's a whole bag here of foam tips and rubber, like little rings that go around them and all that. And I did put some rubber rings around the outside of them, and that did seem to make it fit my ear a little better and sit in a little bit tighter. So this has a little black ring around it. Anyway, the sound of these changes a bit depending on how I get them in my ears. So I mean, basically the further I push them in, they get louder and the bass gets stronger. But I mean, just sitting in my outer ear where they're comfortable, that's kind of how I'm gonna base the sound, because I'm assuming that's the way they should be. So anyway, I just wanted to mention that because this is a balanced plug on these, I used an adapter to go to a 4-pin full-size XLR and ran them from the balanced output of my Audio GD Master 9 and the Headamp GS6 Mini. So I mean, those are kind of overkill for an earbud, but using very good amps to take these for a test run. As far as what I had to compare these to, obviously I compared them to the original Venture Electronics Monk Plus, which they actually look almost identical. This one does have the rubber O-ring, so other than that, the casing looks just about identical, but the cable is much nicer on the Zen 2. And I also compared these to the Apple EarPods, not to be confused with the Apple AirPods. The EarPods, I think, go for about $28, and the AirPods, I believe, go for about $150. And my guess is that's more what these are aimed at. As far as competition, these are probably aimed at the AirPods. Anyway, getting into the sound a little bit on these, I would describe the sound as the tone balance is a little on the warm side, and not drastically warm, just a little bit warm of neutral. The frequency extension, they have good extension on the top end, they go high. The bottom end, as far as whether they have sub bass or not, kind of depends on the fit in my ear. how I position them, where I put them, and I'm guessing that the shape of each person's ear is going to have a lot to do with that. So as far as I'm concerned, they don't really go real deep into the sub bass. There is pretty decent bass, but I wouldn't call it sub bass. They're not going real low, but like I said, that might be different person to person depending on the shape of your ear and the fit. But the bass is, you know, it's got pretty good bass and pretty good punch to it. I mean, for an earbud especially, not really, you know, compared to a full-size headphone. And actually, I was looking at Venture's website, and that's kind of what their intention was with this, was to make an earbud that had the sound of a full-size headphone. And I'll talk about that in a minute when I get into the sound stage. The mids on this are really nice. They're really enjoyable. They're really smooth, and they've got a rich sound to them. A nice, you know, liquid flowing sound. And compared to the Monk Plus or the Apple EarPods, just much richer, much creamier. Just you know, much more enjoyable, especially female vocals. Both of the you know, earbuds that I compared this to, they just you know, the especially female vocals just sound thin in comparison and kind of screechy and all that, and these are just a lot warmer, a lot nicer, more pleasant. The highs are clean, they're clear, they're sparkly, and but I wanted to talk about the sound stage. That's the thing that really stood out to me on these earbuds, is when I was listening to the Monk Plus or the Apple earbuds, the sound stage was really small, real closed in. I mean, it felt like it was between my two ears. I felt almost like the sound was coming from the middle of my head. And what really surprised me is the sound stage is much bigger on these. Much wider, definitely outside, beyond my ears, and doesn't feel like it's coming from the center of my head. Like female vocals, instead of just being, you know, like right in the middle of my head, or feel like they're kind of wrapped around the front of my face. So in that respect, they do sound a lot like a full-size over-the-ear headphone. So I'm pretty impressed by that, and I'm not sure how they did that, but anyway, so just kind of bottom line, and I'll try to go in deeper. I'll do a full review of these in a couple weeks. But until then, yeah, they're definitely much better than the Monk Plus, but the Monk Plus is $5. These are $166. They're much better than the Apple EarPods. But once again, those are like $28. So the big question is going to be, first, yes, these sound very good. They sound excellent. But the question is, and what I'm going to try to answer in my full review in a couple weeks, I'm going to put some more time into these and try to tell you whether or not these are worth $166. Because, I mean, that's a lot of money for an earbud. But like I said, they do sound really good. So I'm going to try over the next 2 weeks to let you know if they're worth that kind of money or not. So anyway, I'm going to wrap this up. Once again, this is William from the Headphone Experience. If this video has helped you, please give me a thumbs up. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel. And you're all welcome to join us at the Headphone Experience on Facebook. Thank you.